Oh, you don't know how to do your makeup? Come, let me teach you. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's tips and tricks with Vix, and we stay blessed in the mix, period. So today guys, I'm teaching you how to do your makeup. Beginner friendly. I'm gonna explain everything and talk through everything, so do take a seat. Before I start the video, I don't actually know how to do my eyebrows on camera, so I'm gonna go off camera, do my eyebrows and also do my skin prep. I'll also explain to you guys what I did for my skin prep, but I'm gonna do all of that off camera.
A few moments later.
When I start my makeup, I get micellar water or even just makeup wipes or anything to put on like a cotton pad, and then I wipe my face clean. That's the first step I do. Then after that, I take my primer. So I've got really oily skin, so I use this MAC Studio Fix Mattifying Primer. This is what I use, and I do really like this primer. But I don't just stop there with the primer. So because of my oily skin, once again, I use Milk of Magnesia as well as primer. So that's the white residue which you can see on my face, and I only use that in the like oily parts of my face. So for me personally, obviously this is not the original Milk of Magnesia bottle. It was in a blue bottle and I basically poured it in here. So this is like a drop applicator. So I pick some up, drop it on my face and just like tap it in and smooth it out on my face. So when it dries, it does leave some residue, which is normal. So that's the stage that I'm at, and that's what I do because of my oily skin. If your skin is not oily, of course, skip the Milk of Magnesia. And also when it comes to the primer, if you've got like really dry skin, they've got moisturizing primers. They've just got different type of primers. So buy the primer that suits your skin tone. Foundation is the next step. So this is the foundation I use. Is the NARS Soft Matte Foundation. I'm in shade, I don't know if I'm saying it right guys, but Manaus Deep 1 Manaus. That's the shade I'm in. So when I apply my foundation, I use two brushes to do that, to make it easier for myself. I use a flat head brush like this to like spread it out on my face, and then I use a brush like this, quite dense, you know, to blend it all out. So this brush is actually from Real Techniques, but they've got the dupes as well. And honestly, my brushes are a whole mixture of different brushes, and this is the real one, but I've also got dupes in there and they all work the same for me personally. If you're a beginner, you might want to put it at the back of your hand, or you might want to put it onto something to pick up, whatever suits you. I'm a professional at this, so I just, yeah, so I put like a line like that, and on the other side. And I usually leave it as this. Maybe I'll put some down my nose, just a little bit. And this should be enough for my whole face. If I need more, I can always add more. So then to spread it out, I've also got a mirror here, guys, that I'll be looking at. So to spread it out, I just do this to spread it all over my face before I start blending it out. Here on my nose. I put a little bit on my forehead, not too much, just a little bit. And I blend it out on my forehead like as the first step, because it's only a little bit, so it will just dry quicker. So just like this to spread it out. It's looking a bit scary guys, but trust the process. So then I'll start with the blending from my forehead. I always blend from my forehead first because it dries out quicker, because I only put a little bit. And also for me, because like I wear the wigs and I've got my baby hair, sometimes I use like a little brush to get in that line. Where is that brush? Yeah, so I'll use a brush like this to get into this space here. So yeah, I'll do that as I go along. Or sometimes I don't need to. So if I don't need to, I won't, but I can see that I do. So just go in there. So make sure you dab, guys. At this stage, you don't want to swipe. Swipe and no swiping. At this stage, you want to just dab. Dab it all out to blend. And guys, especially as a beginner, you want to have tissue. Like, I can even see that some of the makeup has gone on my baby hairs here. So I'll just wipe it off. It won't wipe off completely, like this much wiped off. But that's good enough for me. And you want to make sure, guys, you blend, because for me, I've got like this bit here. You want to make sure you blend there as well, because my makeup always starts separating from there like really quickly, because it gets oily there as well. So yeah, just makeup, blend, blend, blend. I don't put foundation on my neck, But like if you've got a problem with your neck where like it's too light or too dark and you want to put makeup there, you can. But I personally don't, because I don't want makeup getting on my clothes. And I do also blend it out on my eyelids. I'm just gonna go in this corner here and blend. Okay. Okay, so I think the foundation, is done. Let me just buff it in one more time. This line right here, I like to focus it there because sometimes when I turn my neck like this, there might be like a line of separation. So I like to make sure I've got enough there. Okay. Okay, so that's foundation done. And usually I like to just wipe off the excess just because I use my brushes a lot and I just don't want product to really build up. So off this one, I'll just wipe it off like this. Just so that the product doesn't stay on there and dry up on there, which eventually it will, and you're going to need to wash your brushes. So guys, the next stage is contour and blush, but in the cream products, okay? So I use the Curve Case by Made by Mitchell. This is in the shade Deep, okay? So this is what it looks like, by the way. So it's got all these different colors on there. So I use these for like the blush and these for contour. These are the two brushes I use for contour. And as a beginner as well, you're going to have different brushes for different things, so you can actually label them. Like, I'm a pro, but I have to label my brushes because sometimes I get confused, like what did I actually use this for? So you can actually label your brushes as well to make it easier. So I use this to like pick up the product and put it on my skin, and I use this to blend it out for contour. So which shade should I go for? To be fair, in terms of the shades I use, I just, whatever I'm feeling on that day, I go for it. But most of the time I use this one here or this one, or I mix them both together sometimes. So it just depends on how I'm feeling. So I'll just do a mixture of them today. So contour. So guys, everyone's face shape is also different. So sometimes you have to work according to your face shape. So for me personally, I just do this. And that's why I put my contour like the darkest line that I can see. So yeah, I don't use too much contour, guys, because my face is already quite defined. So I'm only going with a little bit, and now I'll just blend it out. So, and guys, if you ever feel like you've picked up too much product, wipe it off on your tissue and then go back in to blend it out. Because if you've got too much product and you try to blend, it just won't blend anyway. It won't go away. So wipe off the excess and blend if you pick up too much product. Some people also put like contour to like shape their foreheads. I don't really do that. Yeah, because I don't really put much makeup on my forehead anyways. So yeah, I don't really do that. So guys, this is the contour done and blended out. And the next stage is cream blush. So for cream blush, I use a very similar brush to my contour brush. Do you guys see why sometimes you have to like label your brushes? Because these look very similar. But yeah, I use this for my blush. So where I like to put my blush placement is right here. This is where I like to put my blush. So what color am I going to go for? I usually just mix these two colors and this as well. So these are the three. I usually just mix them all together and I just use that as blush. So yeah, just there's where I like to put it, and then I'll do that on the other side as well. Sometimes as well, guys, I like to pinch the brush together just so that it's more controlled, you know, and then I can put it where I want it to be. So yeah, like that. Yeah, so this is it for the blush, guys. So then after blush, the next step will be concealer. Concealer I use is Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Maple. So I use two concealers. First I use this, and then we'll go into the next one. So in terms of concealer placement, this is what I do. So I put like a dot there. Here as well. So not directly under my eye, just like under my eye, and not too big. On the bridge of my nose as well, a little bit. Yeah, just there on my nose. A dot on my forehead, literally a dot. And then I also put it right here, and then just here. So this is it for concealer placement, guys. And usually I do wait a bit for it to dry down, just a little bit. So in terms of like the time frame of how long to wait, it generally depends on your concealer, whether it's new or not, and how your concealer performs. Specifically for the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, this is actually new. So because it's new, I need to wait longer for it to dry down. So I will wait for 3 minutes for it to dry down. But say if this was like an old one that's running out, then I would wait like maybe 1 minute 30 seconds for it to dry down. So it all just depends. So you don't want to wait for it to over dry, and you don't want to start blending when it's not really like set yet. When I'm blending, I like to blend from my nose first. So I blend this out, and then I do my forehead, and then I start from here and connect it here. But I'll show you guys and it'll make sense. But it doesn't really matter what order you blend in, but I would say leave the bigger areas for last, because they will pick up more product. So like start from the smaller places first, and then onto the bigger surface areas. So in terms of blending out my concealer, I use 2 brushes. So I use this one first. It's kind of like this angled brush. Yeah, and then I use this one next, this flat head brush, to blend it out. So I'll start from the bridge of my nose. And now I'll do my forehead. And you don't want to over blend to the point where the product disappears. You want to blend it just enough. Yeah. And then, so next I will start blending from here and almost like blend it upwards into this one. So especially with like the 2 under my eye, I always start from the outside. I don't start from the inside of it and start blending out. No, I always start from the outside. So you see that? It's like I'm blending out the outside first. I sometimes leave the inner corner to dry a bit more whilst I do the other side, the outside of the other side. And I can see a little bit of a harsh line here. You can't really see, and it's not that deep, but this is where I'll use my second concealer brush to buff out that harsh line. Okay. And sometimes, guys, like I said, I do pinch my brush together just to give it more of an angle so that it's controlled. So this is the stage we're at. So the outer corners are all blended out, and now I'm going to focus on blending out the middle of it. So this is where it can get a bit scary because there's more product to work with. And remember, if there is too much product, wipe it off. So I'm going to start by wiping off any excess product. So I'm just wiping it all off. Okay, there wasn't that much product on there, but yeah. And you want to be light-handed with this, so that you can really control where the product goes and where it spreads to. effect, guys. Guys, try not to get any products into your eye because your eye might start watering and it's going to be a long day for you. And guys, when you get to the end here, sometimes it becomes like a bit harsh. So this is where your second brush comes in. Just blend it out. Because your second brush shouldn't have much product on it. So I don't know if you guys see the difference, but I can really see it. Okay, so that bit is done. So now I blend out the bottom bit. Just tap it in place. And guys, so I don't actually contour my nose because from what I've done, I don't know if you can see, but there's like a natural contour line. So I don't actually contour my nose for that reason. It's like a natural contour comes through from the way I do it. But of course, if you want to contour your nose, you can go ahead and get a brush, maybe like a flathead little brush, a brush like this to contour it, and then maybe a little brush like this one to then blend out the contour. But like I said, I don't do the step because there's already a natural contour line for me. So now that that's done, guys, I'll go in with the second concealer brush and I basically tap everything out. So blend it all together. So on here, forehead, look at the nose. Okay. So if you're a beginner, you can leave it at this stage and skip the next step, which I'm about to do, and go straight to the powders. But I will be going in with a lighter shade concealer, but just a little bit of that and I'll blend it out. So in terms of my lighter shade concealer, I actually use the OG LA Girl Pro Concealer. This is a really light shade, so I use a little bit of this, guys, okay? Not too much. It's just to brighten it up a little bit, just to give it that effect. So I take some out. If you want it to be more controlled, you can use a brush like this to take it and spread it out, but I will just go straight in. So very careful with this. And I'm not being too harsh with it, guys. I'm not pressing in hard to the point where I'm dragging the layer underneath. It's very light-handed. Yeah, and I'll put a little bit on my nose, just a little bit. Oh my gosh, guys, why is it in a wonky line? Do you know what, we'll fix it. So yeah, just this much, guys, not too much. And once again, in terms of how long I'm going to leave this to dry, I'm probably only going to leave it for like 1 minute, because as you can see, this is quite old, like it's literally on its last legs, so it's already quite dried anyways. So I'll leave it for about 1 minute and I'll start blending it out. Okay, so I'm ready to start blending. So it's the same logic as before. I'm going to start with my nose, and it's the same brush I used before. Yeah, and now I'm going to start with like the outer corner of this one, and I'm not going to drag this one up too high. I'm just going to try and leave it as close in the under eye as possible and not bring it out too much, and just like bring it out just a little bit. So if you see, like I'm kind of like stopping here and I'm not trying to take it any further. So guys, that's this side done. And sometimes I do actually go over the contour lines because I don't really like the strong contour effect it gives. So sometimes even when I blend over, you can still see the contour, it's just not as much. So there's this side and then that side, it's more subtle. Okay, so one side is done. And guys, I just want to give you quick advice. So obviously I've used 2 different brands of concealers, and that can be very risky because if they're both like very different formulas, what can happen is it can start separating. But I've done this combination before, so I know that they work well together. But if like with a different concealer, it might not mix in well together and it might start separating when you blend it out. So if you're going to use 2 concealers to be on the safe side, let them be from the same brand. I can see a harsh line here, so I'm going to go in with my second concealer brush and just blend out that harsh line, just like that. Let me go over the contour line here as well. So now I'm gonna just blend it out. Okay, so now that that's done, we want to quickly set this makeup in place. So we're going to quickly get our powder before the under eye starts creasing, because we don't want that. So this is the powder I'm using, Huda Beauty Easy Bake powder in shade Blondie. This is shade Blondie. I also use a powder puff. It's not branded, it was literally just from, I think, Amazon or something like that. So whichever eye you're about to do, just quickly blend out the under eye to blend out any creases. Okay, so once you do that, quickly get some product. So look, I've got in the product, but I'm going to tap off the excess on the lid. I'm going to tap off the excess and set. So this is not baking, this is just setting the under eye, okay? We're going to bake in a second. So do the same to the other side. So quickly blend it out. If you're a beginner, you might want to just get the powder ready. But yeah, so blend it out with the second concealer brush that hasn't got too much product on it. Oh, guys, I just got the brush in my eye. You have to be careful because you don't want your eyes to start watering, and also you don't want to get powder in your eye. Definitely not, because that will start watering for sure. Okay, I'll get the powder now. I'm going to tap off the excess and set. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm just going to go ahead and set everywhere else that I put concealer. So, no. Okay, so guys, that's the setting done. And so because my skin is really oily, I'm gonna go ahead and bake now. So I'm gonna put a lot of powder on, especially on my under eye and on my nose, and I'm just not gonna do it to my forehead, but I'm gonna put a lot of powder on now everywhere that I've just set. So I'm gonna use the same powder, but this time around I'm gonna put a lot more. I've picked up the product. I'm not gonna tap off any excess, I'm just gonna go straight in. You should probably close your eyes because this is when the powder starts flying about and you definitely don't want to get it in your eye. And you want to like push it in. Okay, so that's one side done. Now the next side. So because it's a lot of powder, I usually start from like around the corner of my nose, and I also set that gap right here. if there's like a harsh line around the nose, I just blend over it. So yeah, just like this. And now down here on my chin. So guys, with doing your makeup, the trick is learning how to correct a mistake. So I've put too much powder on my chin. So I'm literally just going to get a powder brush, which is this powder I use, and I'm just going to tap off the excess. Yeah, just like that. And now I'm also going to just blend out the rest. Push it into my skin. I actually forgot to put some right here, guys, on top of my lip. So I'll just quickly do that. I don't know, have I done that already? I don't think so. Yeah, I definitely did not do this. So yeah, don't forget there as well, guys. I always forget for some reason. So guys, that is the powder's done. And so far it's looking good. So yeah, I hope it's going well for you at home, learning. It's blush time. So this is the blush I use from Trigwell Cosmetics. And this is the shade Burning Up. I also have a different shade which I barely use, and that's the shade Tropic Like It's Hot. I do really like the shade. Let me show you guys. So this is shade Tropical. This is shade Tropic Like It's Hot, and let me show you guys the other shade. This is shade Burning Up, which I evidently use quite a lot. But I think today, should I switch up today and use Tropic Like It's Hot? Yeah, I'm gonna use that today. So with blush, guys, I use a fluffy brush like this type of fluffy brush, and I just go around it in circles. If you need to tap off the excess, please do. And then exactly where I put the blush before, I'll just put it there again. So this shade is not as pigmented as the other shade, so I'm going to go back to the original shade which I've been using. So I'm using the shade Burning Up. So once again, get the product like this, tap off any excess if you need to, because remember, you can always add more, but it's harder to take away if you add too much. So tap off the excess then. So as I'm going back and forth, I'm being very light-handed. Like, I'm not tapping, I'm doing it it seems very fast, but it's very light-handed. Like, I'm not going in like this. And I'm really and truly using the tip of the brush, like this tip here. So yeah, do you guys see the difference from this side and that side? So we're going to do the same to the other side. So get the product again, just like this. Then the other side now. Guys, try not to add too much, okay? There's actually something called blush blindness. We don't want that. So yeah, I think this is enough. I don't want to do too much. I don't want to do too much and I'm going back to do more. This is what I mean by blush blindness. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to wipe off the excess blush. So this is how much has come off. And then now I'm going to go in and just blend it out. Okay, so guys, that's it with my blush. Okay guys, so the next stage is to set all of my face. So I like to use a translucent powder to set all of my face. You can also use a powder that's like your same skin shade, so a powder like this, or even like this, which is your same skin shade, to set all of your face. But I just prefer using translucent powders. So let me show you what it looks like. This is it. It's pretty much just white, but it's supposed to be like clear on the skin, translucent. So I think if you're a beginner, you should probably use a powder that's like your same skin shade to set like the rest of your face. So how I do it is I get a bigger brush. So let me show you guys the difference. This is the brush I used for these areas of my face, and this is the bigger brush I'm going to use to set basically the rest of my face. So I take some powder with the brush. So, oh, and by the way, this is H&B Cosmetics powder in the shade Translucent. So I take some powder like this, and I take the lid of the product, and I basically do this to cover everywhere in it. So some product does like fall off, but I'll go back in, pick it up and use it anyways. So just like to go in like this. And then now I'm going to go back in to get the other product. Try not to get too much because you don't want to inhale all the powder fumes, because that can cause you to like be sneezing and stuff. So yeah, just like that. And don't forget your forehead as well to just set everywhere else. So now at this stage, guys, we are pretty much done. So we are gonna spray some setting spray. So I use the NYX matte setting spray because once again my skin is very oily, so I use matte setting spray. And you basically want to cover every part of your face with this. That should do it. And you want to wait for your face to dry. So guys, this is what it looks like when it's dried down. And now I'm gonna go ahead and put on my strip lashes, and then after that I will come back and do my lip combo with you. So guys, just for reference, this is the makeup without any light, and I'm gonna turn on my light, and then this is it with the light. So guys, I've gone off camera, I've put on my lashes, and I also added a bit more powder. So usually, because my skin is really oily, after I spray my setting spray, I actually go back in with powder. So powder on the inner corner and all over my face as well, just because of the oily skin. And today I need my makeup to be on for a very long time, so yeah. So I'm gonna go in and do my lip combo now. So to start my lip combo, I usually just get like cotton pad and wipe off any excess makeup on my mouth. So I'm going to line my lips with this lip pencil. It's literally just from the hair shop, and it just says brown, like the color is brown. So yeah, so I'm just gonna outline the shape of my natural lip. And then I go in with this lip gloss from Revolution. So yes, I use this for the middle bits of my lips. Blend it in. And then at this stage, I'll go in with lip gloss, and with this specific lip gloss, I almost kind of use it to blend everything together. And that's it with the lip combo. That's it, guys. There we have it. The makeup is done. You have learned how to do your makeup today. So yeah, guys, this is the finished look. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also like the video, share it, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys for tuning in. Stay blessed.